Okay, we are live. We are live. A quick pre-fight video / stream for Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell. We'll talk a bit about that fight, the undercard, and maybe some more topics. This one is a impromptu stream. Never planned this one, but again, got some free time, so why not? Why not? But I'm really looking forward to the fight tonight. Really am. Going to be a real interesting fight. And I have to say as well, the undercard for this fight as well, there's a couple of good fights. Felix Alvarado versus DJ Creel, interesting fight. And Rene Alvarado versus Roger Gutierrez could be a really, really fun fight. That could be a bit of a war. So, yeah, good main event, really good main event. And, a solid undercard as far as I'm concerned. Looking forward to it. Really am looking forward to it. Okay, 1 second, lads. Let me just open that shit up. Okay. Yes, big up to Big Dan. ABC Def in the chat. So apparently, ABC, ring walk for the main event is 11 p.m. tonight UK time. So very early for us UK viewers, which is nice to see. Because obviously, usually we've got to stay up till like 5 a.m. But I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I think Ryan Garcia is going to do it. I'm not really sold whether it's by knockout or points, but my bet is Ryan Garcia. I think Ryan Garcia, listen, is he cringy? Yeah. Is he a bit corny? Yeah. But I think some people are letting their hate of Ryan Garcia cloud their judgment in regards to his ability. I think he's a naturally talented athlete, quick fighter, solid power, good timing. I think there's a lot of raw potential there with Ryan Garcia. If he keeps his head screwed on, I think the guy can go quite a long way. And Luke Campbell, while he's a really good pro, he's a good technical boxer from that southpaw stance. To me, his style's never really transitioned from the amateur game. So, listen, I've got Ryan Garcia in this fight, but we'll see what happens. It's a big step up. It's a big, big step up. Big up to Buddy Aces as well in the chat. Salute to Buddy Aces MXBC. ABC Def, I'm backing the Alvarado brothers to win both by stoppage. Yep. Rene Alvarado and Felix Alvarado on that card, both in pretty good fights. Yeah, ABC, really good fun fight. A fun fight with a good undercard. Box, he says Luke Campbell's going to Joe Joyce, Ryan Garcia. Interesting. The thing is, with the problem I have with Luke Campbell is he's too passive, unlike Joe Joyce. If you punch Luke Campbell in the face, he'll just try and box to keep you off him, kind of thing. And I don't think that's going to be enough in this fight in Texas, away from home. I don't think that's going to be enough to get the decision. You know, I mean, he couldn't keep Ivan Mendy off of him. He was just trying to box, he was trying to box to score points more so than to hurt Ivan Mendy. Same with Jorge Linares. Same with Lomachenko. I think you can put Luke Campbell in his place. If he gets cracked early on, I expect to see Luke Campbell box, but not really apply any type of pressure or try and force the initiative. I mean, go back to that Jorge Linares fight. Everybody says how close that fight was, which it was, right? Luke Campbell boxed really well, and he gave Linares problems. However, he got dropped in that fight, and after that, Luke Campbell didn't really take any risks. He was confined to really just boxing. And when you look at Linares was a guy who, while he's a great fighter, he's always been a very fragile fighter. And Luke Campbell never put it on him once because he got caught and got hurt. We saw that with Lomachenko as well. The much smaller man was bullying Luke Campbell, put him in his place. Ivan Mendy. I don't think Luke Campbell takes the initiative enough. He needs to do that in this fight against the younger man. He needs to really ask questions of Ryan Garcia. And I've not seen Luke Campbell do that at a high level or in a big fight. For me, Luke Campbell, being the boxer is not enough in this fight. He needs to be the boxer puncher. He really needs to test Ryan Garcia in this one. He really does. Yeah, exactly, Jay. Exactly, Jay. This is a big step up for Ryan Garcia. It's going to be interesting to see how he does. Yeah, I'll tell you what, listen, again, I appreciate, Ryan Garcia gets a lot of hate, and I don't particularly like his character, but part of me wants him to win because who he is, if he actually proves himself in the ring, he's going to be a massive, massive star, and he will attract new eyes to boxing, and that's only a good thing. And I'll be honest, yeah, low key, I kind of enjoy watching Ryan Garcia fight. I think he's quite interesting. I like those sort of explosive fighters, you know, with like quick twitch muscle, reflexes, power puncher. I like those sort of fighters. Mate, the fallout from the TikTok fangirls of Ryan would be hilarious. Yeah, it would be. It would be. Yeah, salute to MMA champ every single time. Big up to MMA champ. I agree, Jay. I would love to see Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. The build-up for that fight will be special considering the amateur rivalry. They fought 6 times in the amateurs, both won 3 fights. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those guys have history. And obviously, if Ryan Garcia wins this fight, he becomes the WBC interim champion, and he's in line to fight Devin Haney. That'd be a great fight between 2 young lightweights. Really good fight. You know? And listen, man, if Ryan Garcia goes in there and does a real job on Luke Campbell, that's a hell of a statement. That's a hell of a statement. Because I see a lot of people picking Ryan Garcia to lose this fight. It's weird. A lot of people in boxing are picking Luke Campbell to win this, but that doesn't reflect in the odds. Ryan Garcia is still a big, big favourite, so a lot of these people I don't think have put their money down on Luke Campbell. Because the odds on Luke Campbell right now are looking real good. If you want to put a bet down and you're confident in Luke Campbell, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Minimax, he's got Luke 9th round corner stoppage. Jesus, that's a big call, Minimax. That's a big, big call. Listen, who knows? Ryan Garcia may get found out in this one. I personally don't see it. I don't think Luke Campbell is the guy to really expose that. I just believe he's too passive as a fighter. He needs to really change it up in this fight. Maybe under Shane McGuigan he will do. Shane McGuigan tends to get his fighters a bit more aggressive in that boxer-puncher style or just aggressive style, like Josh Taylor, like Carl Frampton, like Lawrence Okolie. And yeah, Luke Campbell certainly needs to be more aggressive in this fight. Yeah, big up to Adam UK as well, by the way, aka Adam Moore. Big up, Adam. Big up. I agree, Minimax. I agree. Luke Campbell's barely top 5 at 135. I agree. I mean, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Tank Davis, if you want to rank him there. I mean, there's a few guys I would put above Luke Campbell. Even Richard Comey, I would put above Luke Campbell personally. Yeah, big up to Triple J, by the way. Happy New Year, Del, and the chat. You too, brother. You too, mate. Hopefully you had a good one, celebrated. Hopefully you had a good one, bro. And yeah, hopefully you have a great year coming up. That's the main thing. You know, we continue to strive and prosper in 2021. They're making it hard for us, but we'll get past that. Jay says, yeah, I think Luke Campbell lacks the meanness and spite. He always looks to box, whereas in some instances he needs to fight. I totally agree, bro. Like the Linares fight was a good example of that for me. He boxed in that fight and he actually did well. He managed to get it close. But like I said, Linares historically has always been a guy, while he's a great talent, he's always one punch away from catastrophe kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And Luke Campbell never really put it on him in that fight. Big up to Faust every single time, brother. Big up to Faust. AA boxing and blunts. I just think Garcia lands a few. Luke covers up and the ref stops it. Ref jumps in quicker than ever just now. Yeah, you've got to consider as well where this fight is taking place. In America, on a Golden Boy card in Texas. Ryan Garcia is the face of Golden Boy now. Canelo's left. They need him to win. He's extremely marketable. That's where the money is. They've invested a lot of money in Ryan Garcia and they've not had their return yet. He is the house fighter beyond house fighter. He is the guy in this fight. So Luke Campbell needs to do something extremely special to win this one. You know, he needs to completely school him or knock him out, basically. And I'm not convinced Luke does that. I'm not convinced at all. I'd love to see him getting sparked out, to be honest, but I got to admit he's entertaining. Yeah, I think Ryan Garcia he's quite entertaining as a fighter. I think he's entertaining. Yeah, there's some great fights there, Big Dan. Like we said, man, Garcia versus Devin Haney, Garcia versus Tank Davis, Tio versus Devin Haney. There's loads of great fights to be made from these young lightweights. Some great fights, and that's what it's all about, man. We want to see these guys, square off and make these sort of fights. See who's the best of the bunch. I still think Ryan Garcia's got flaws. Don't get me wrong. I just don't believe Luke Campbell's going to be the guy to necessarily expose them. That's just how I feel going into this fight. I don't think Luke's the guy to expose Ryan. And also Eddie Reynoso. Since he's been with Eddie Reynoso, I think he's had 2 fights and he's knocked them both out in 1 round. Has Eddie Reynoso erased some of those flaws in Ryan Garcia's game? We don't really know because he's fought 2 rounds, but we'll see. I think the twink gets Campbell out of there with a left hook in the late rounds. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a stoppage. Luke Campbell has been down against non-punchers, Argenis Mendez, Ivan Mendy. None of these guys aren't big punchers in the lightweight division, and Luke Campbell was down. He was getting bullied by the smaller man in Lomachenko, and he got hurt several times in that fight. If Luke Campbell, makes the same mistakes as he did against Mendy or Mendez, and he kind of squares up, gets caught, I think Ryan could make it count. I do believe Ryan Garcia has genuine power. If Luke Campbell loses ABC, I can't see a route for him at lightweight. Maybe he moves up to 140, has one last go of it, fights someone like Lewis Ritson in a big domestic fight, maybe something like that. Luke Campbell, if he loses this fight, I guess it depends on how he loses. If he loses, but I guess he can have one more run at it. Luke Campbell, for me, has just been a disappointment. When he turned pro, there was a lot of expectations from Luke Campbell in the UK. He was almost being billed as the UK golden boy, gold medal, good-looking kid. He spoke well. He was being billed as like the English De La Hoya. In fact, I think they said that early on in his career. There was a lot of big things expected from Luke Campbell, and he never really delivered. So I think it's better for boxing, personally, if Ryan Garcia wins this fight. Again, I know a lot of people don't like him, but he gets people talking, doesn't he, Ryan Garcia? He gets people talking. It's good to know, MMA champ. It's good to know. Yo, Del, hope your Christmas and New Year were great. This is a great way to start the new year. Could Garcia spark Campbell in reality? Luke Campbell is in his prime now. Yeah, I think Ryan could knock out Luke. I think the safe bet would be Ryan Garcia on points, personally. Luke is pretty tough, but I just don't see. I don't see how Luke wins this one, man. I don't see him getting that knockout. I really don't. And beating Ryan Garcia in Texas isn't going to be an easy feat. Let's be honest about it. It's not going to be easy. I hope it. All I'm really hoping for, in all seriousness, is a fair fight with a conclusive ending. If Ryan Garcia wins, I hope he deserves it, whether it be points by knockout. I don't want to see any fuckery, is what I'm saying. I want to see a natural conclusion to this fight because it's a great fight on paper. It really is. Yeah, it's going to be a bad look for Luke to get knocked out by Rai. Yeah, Rai. Listen, man, Rai. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea. He's a cringy guy, but I think he's a good talent. And listen, man, he's drawing girls, so you can't really complain, can you? He's got some thirsty-ass females after him. So listen, Ryan Garcia's living the life, mate. I can't hate on the guy. I can't hate on him. ABC Def, I think Luke really could get KO'd today. I can see him getting clipped by hooks, yeah. Box, Shane's been robbed of a few guys because of his family. The fighters he had may have developed. Yeah, I agree, Box. Like, look at the work he did with Josh Taylor. He could have achieved so much more with Josh Taylor. It's not even funny. Carl Frampton, Shane McGuigan, to me, is a really, really good trainer. I like what I see from Shane. I love listening to him speak. He understands the game. A wise head on young shoulders, Shane McGuigan. Much prefer him to Ben Davidson. Ryan Garcia has been working with Eddie Reynoso, so I wouldn't be surprised if his head movement was looking a bit better in this fight. Yeah, a lot of people have been mentioning that the defense of Ryan Garcia, the head movement, drawing in the lead, countering. Is he going to try and emulate Canelo a little bit more in this fight? Will we see that Reynoso style on Ryan Garcia? I want to see some new things from Ryan in this fight. Like I said, he's been working with Eddie for a little while now, and this is a big step up. I want to see if Eddie's actually changed him as a fighter at all. We're on the Corona, by the way, lads, celebrating Ryan Garcia's Mexican heritage. We're on the Corona right now. Nice bottle of Corona. There we go. Jamie Ritchie, he's got 100 on Garcia by decision. Listen, if it goes to the distance, it's a very good bet because it's in Texas. So I can see that. I can see it. MMA champ, if Ryan wins, top 5 lightweights would be 1 Teofimo, 2 Haney, 3 Loma, 4 Ryan, 5 Linares. I would still say 1 Teo, 2 Loma, 3 Ryan, 4 Devin, 5 whoever. I'm not really sure about number 5. Maybe Linares, yeah. I had a dream that the fight went to a technical decision because of a headbutt. Ryan was cut and he won a controversial split decision. That's another thing as well. I want to see Ryan Garcia get punched in the face a few times in this one. Maybe get a bit of damage, see how he reacts. A lot of people assume that he'll fold if he gets caught a few times and gets bullied or, has a few bad rounds. I think a lot of people assume he will fold. It would be very interesting to see what happens if Luke Campbell has long periods of success where he's landing hard shots. What's Ryan Garcia made of? We don't know. We really don't know. Campbell has a suspect chin. I think a lot of it with Luke Campbell sometimes his balance, personally, like the Mendes knockdown, the Mendy knockdown as well. Both of those were more balanced knockdowns, kind of coming square on, crossing his feet. I don't think that was necessarily because of a bad chin per se. He just kind of makes a few mistakes here and there. Exactly, ABC. I'm the same. Oh Christ, that's a good point, Minimax. Do you know who the referee is tonight? It best not be Lawrence Cole. I'll tell you that much. I would cheer for Ryan Garcia to smash up Devin Haney. That'd be a good fight, though. I want to see that fight. I feel like I should hate Ryan Garcia because a lot of people who watch this channel do, but I don't really see the big problem with Ryan. I just see a cringy kid, but he's a good talent. He's a good talent. Exactly. MMA champ. Devin Haney's extremely untested. He's got 2 mandatories. Javier Fortuna, which would be a good fight, and the winner of this Ryan Garcia-Luke Campbell fight. They are 2 great fights for Devin Haney right now. I'm not a fan of Garcia, but I want to see Garcia versus the email champion Haney next year. So a win for Garcia tonight would do him well. However, I do hope Campbell will give it all he's got. Yeah, I think Campbell's going to go in there and pose certain problems. He's not going to come to lie down, but I just don't think he's going to do enough. Joe Smith Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez. That'd be a good fight. I'd favour Canelo, though. Big up to Harvey, by the way. Big up to Harvey Hughes. Hopefully you had a good Christmas, bro. And a Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year. Big up to Harvey. I'm doing well, though. I'm doing very well. Looking forward to the fight. How do you think Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Warrington would go? That's a good fight. A nice style matchup. Slick back foot counterpuncher versus a front foot pressure fighter. I would favour Shakur Stevenson on points, Jay. We saw how Josh kind of struggled with the awkwardness of Kid Galahad. And Shakur is bigger than Kid. I think he's a lot better technically. He's slick. He's quick. I think Shakur Stevenson would diffuse Josh Warrington. If Warrington had a bit more power, I think that's a more interesting proposition. But I would favour Shakur Stevenson in that fight personally. Del Boy, who should Garcia fight next if he were to beat Campbell tonight? I want it to be Devin Haney, to be honest. I mean, this is the interim title. Devin's got the full title. Both guys are on the zone. To me, there's no reason why that fight shouldn't happen next. Big summer fight. That'd be a great fight, man. Great fight. I see it in Luke's eyes. I think he wants this. Yeah, he probably feels it's last chance saloon, and he needs to really put it all on the line. I'm hoping to see a more. I'm hoping to see a Luke Campbell, who kind of leaves it all on the line, takes a few risks, and shows a bit more authority in his punches. He really needs to commit to that jab. Like I said, he can't play the boxer in this fight unless he schools Ryan Garcia, of course. But I think he needs to be the boxer puncher. He needs to put Ryan in his place, catch him early, make him second guess himself, make him realize that this is a different level to what you've been fighting at. Try and implement doubt in the young man's mind. Luke Campbell needs to start this fight well, in my opinion. He needs to start this fight well. Harvey says Garcia wins this by KO. It would be a statement if he does. Interesting. MMA champ. Interesting. Cool hand Luke is nothing special. Past prime Garcia is special. Sorry, I'll read that again, Mad Chad. Sorry. Cool hand Luke is nothing special. He's past prime. Garcia is special, entering his prime. World will see today. You could be right, Mad Chad. You could be right. I do believe Luke Campbell has been overrated to some extent. I do. I think I had it. I've only seen that fight once, Minimax. I've only seen it once, but I'm pretty sure I had it 7-5 Linares plus the knockdown. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I had it 6-all plus the knockdown, but I don't see how Luke won that fight personally. I had Linares, but it's actually quite a good fight though, wasn't it? It was a pretty good fight, to be fair. Ian Ward, big up to Ian. Del, what are your thoughts on the heavyweight Davey Fury? Who do you mean, Ian? Do you mean Huey Fury, Ian? Maybe I'm not reading that right. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Big up to Apology. Big up to Apology. Hopefully you're doing well, bro. Robin Deacon, he says, Luke Campbell was like these other dudes, Liam Smith, Martin Murray, McCracken's, bit of a nearly man. Yeah, exactly, Robin. That's how I see him, as another nearly man in British boxing. He's a good fighter. In a weak era, he'd probably win a world title, but, once, if the division is strong, he's not going to win one. That sort of fighter. I'd love to see it, Adam. I'd love to see it. Like I say, Devin Haney, he's got no excuse for his next fight. He's got 2 solid mandatories he can take on, Fortuna or the Garcia Campbell winner. There's no excuse for some crap voluntary defense for Devin Haney. But I love that fight as well, Adam. I love that fight. Yeah, Garcia, listen, I wouldn't say he was decorated because he never really did anything internationally, but he fought a lot of domestic rivals in America, like Devin Haney, like Virgil Ortiz, and he did well, Ryan Garcia. He did well. Like, people think Ryan Garcia just came from nowhere because he's good on Instagram. He's got a bit of pedigree. That has to be said. I never rated Matthew Macklin either, personally. He should have beat... he got robbed by Felix Sturm, but I never really rated Matthew Macklin, if I'm being honest. He was a fun fighter, but probably European level, I would say. Big up to Copend. Big up to Copend09. Hopefully you had a good Christmas, bro. And a Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year. Oh, is it Lawrence Cole? Are you serious, Minimax? That guy is a slime ball, Lawrence Cole. Are you serious? Oh, my God. Bro, I bet, mate, the people picking Luke Campbell have to be looking at that and shitting themselves, honestly. Jesus. The thing is, we don't know. The thing we don't know what Haney and Ryan Garcia are like mentally. Everything has gone their way in fights. They haven't faced too much adversity. You're totally right, bro. We've not really seen these guys cracked. We've not seen them deal with cuts or a real high-paced fight. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Devin Haney's the email champion. Yo, big up to IBT, by the way. Nice to see you here, bro. Nice to see you here. Hopefully you had a good Christmas. And I obviously wish you a happy new year. Big up to IBT every single time. Phil Regulate Pigeon Boxing 213. I like that name. I like Ryan Garcia. I like his style. I like watching him fight, Phil. I like watching him fight. Garcia's arrogant as fuck, and I don't like him, but he's a talented boxer, and he's stepped up. Exactly, bro. I mean, everyone's excited for this fight, so he deserves some credit for that. A lot of people expected him to duck this sort of fight at this stage, you know? So, listen, he's giving us a good fight, as is Luke Campbell. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hyped, actually. I'm fucking hyped. We never get this sort of good fight early New Year. We usually have to wait a long while, so I'm glad this is happening now. Carlos Mendoza, big up to Carlos every single time. Question, Del, the winner of Taylor versus Ramirez, who should they fight next? Lopez to move up or Pacquiao to move down? Pacquiao got a better chance at Undisputed at 140. Very good question. Personally, for me, I would like the winner of Taylor Ramirez to move up to welterweight, maybe have one fight, like a kind of a fringe level guy at welterweight, and then fight Terence Crawford. If Terence Crawford can't get that Errol Spence Jr. fight, why not fight the winner of that fight? That's what I would like to see. I want to see the winner of that fight move up and challenge Terence Crawford. That's what I would like to see. Particularly Josh Taylor, because I think Josh Taylor has the size to compete at welterweight. I think that'd be very interesting. Ryan Garcia versus Teofimo Lopez would be a good fight. Yeah, stylistically, both guys are extremely quick off the trigger. Both guys can punch. Both guys are young, fresh. That'll be a very good fight. Very good fight. Nobody's beating Lopez. I think Lopez right now is clear number one. That much is obvious. But I don't think he necessarily blasts all of these other guys out like a lot of people think he will. I think there are guys there who I believe can give him trouble. As much as we kind of doubt Devin Haney, I think stylistically Devin Haney can give Teofimo problems. Devin Haney can box off that back foot. He's quite tall for the weight. He's long. If Devin Haney makes Teofimo take the lead and Devin Haney boxes and moves, can Teofimo fight on the front foot against someone like Devin Haney? Is he going to be as effective? I think stylistically, Devin Haney could give Teo some problems, believe it or not, just from a style perspective. Yeah, box, I would agree right now. Josh Taylor and Prograis, I would favour those guys over Lopez. I think both of those guys are very good. Very good. And I'll tell you what, in terms of people, we get this, we're in this era now where like every single big fight seems to have a rematch, no matter how the first fight went. One fight that deserved a rematch was Taylor and Prograis. That was a sick fight and close. Kell Brook's eyes wanted the Bud fight, and he got destroyed. That look in Luke's eyes is fear. Listen, I think you can get to Luke Campbell. I really do. I think you can put him in his place. I see Haney defaming Teofimo. He is too fast and is a really good counterpuncher. Yeah, he is fast. He's a solid counterpuncher. I see talent with Devin Haney. I do see talent there. He needs to brush up a few things. His punch technique, things like that. He's a bit of a slapper at times, and I think that's a big reason in which he couldn't stop Gamboa. His punch technique sometimes isn't the greatest. He needs to tidy up on that a little bit, but he's got great movement, great hand speed. He's athletic, he's quick. He's got a lot of good attributes, Devin Haney. I don't think he's a bad fighter by any means. He's a good talent. Big up to AZ every single time. Big up to AZ. Yeah, like Taylor, Ramirez, Prograis, all of those guys at 140 will be tough night's work for Lopez. Like even Jose Zepeda. Let's not forget Jose Zepeda. As MMA champ said, yeah, a good shout. Zepeda right now, listen, that guy's going to become a champion at 140 at some point. Excellent counterpuncher out of that southpaw stance. carries real power, very educated fighter, Zepeda. He gave Ramirez hell. He's a real good fighter, Zepeda. Real good fighter. Who do you think has the highest ceiling out of Haney, Tank Davis, Shakur, Virgil Ortiz, Teofimo, and Ryan Garcia? Very good question. I rate all of those guys that you mentioned to varying extents, but for some reason, the guy I'm most impressed with is Virgil Ortiz. I just love his style of fighting. He's a boxer puncher with power in both hands. He's calm. He's precise. He's a brilliant finisher. I really like Virgil Ortiz. I really do. But I think all of those guys you mentioned will have good careers to some extent. But I would say probably Virgil Ortiz and Shakur Stevenson have the highest ceiling out of those guys you mentioned, Jay. But I like all of them. I do like all of them. Yeah, by the way, Luke Campbell is like the youngest 33-year-old I've ever seen. Oh, Davey Fury. He's a white collar fighter who's just turned pro. He looks like Tyson and Huey, but he says he isn't related. He definitely is, though. I'll have to look him up, Ian. I've never heard of him. I have to look him up. Davey Fury. I'll have to look him up. I never heard of him. Yo, Harvey, man, that'd be a great fight. Two explosive guys. You know, I think that fight would be very interesting. Maybe Tio's superior size and whatnot could be the difference. But listen, if Tank hits you, you're going to stay hit. That'd be a very good fight. LCS, so the fight starts if you're UK time, the fight starts at 11 p.m. The actual card starts at 8 p.m. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Big Dan. Big up to Big Dan, by the way. Teofimo Lopez should just stay at 135 and try to clear up the division, beat the top contenders, then move up in weight. Plus at 140, Zepeda, Taylor, Ramirez, and Prograis are very hard fights. I agree, Big Dan. I want to see Teofimo try and become undisputed at 135. You know, fight Ryan Garcia, fight Devin Haney, maybe Tank Davis, then move up. I want to see him create some sort of legacy at 135. That's what I would like to see personally. Big up to Yes Sir. Big up to Yes Sir every single time. Nice to see you here, bro. Hopefully you had a good Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah, man, Phil, a pigeon. Yeah, Lawrence Cole is a scumbag, honestly. Do you know when you look at certain people and you just know they're a slime ball? You get that impression by looking at fucking Lawrence Cole. He just looks like a greasy, slimy, just so-and-so, honestly. He looks like a scumbag. I've got Ryan Garcia, Nazars. I've got Ryan Garcia. Whether it be by points or knockout, I'm not really sure. I've not seen enough from Luke Campbell to indicate that he wins this sort of fight. He's always kind of fallen short. He's a bit too passive. I don't think he's going to leave it all on the line. I don't think he's going to do enough against Ryan. I really don't. Plus, Ryan's the house fighter in Texas. It's going to be extremely hard for Luke Campbell to get a decision in Texas. Am I really far behind in the chat? I probably am, by the way. I probably am. Yeah, I'm getting into crypto, Harvey. I'm getting into it. Slowly but surely. I'm doing a lot of research at the minute, but I'm getting into it. I made a little bit of money, which is nice. Not sure apology, but the fact that Lawrence Cole is the ref is fucking embarrassing. Big up to every bloke in the chat. Of course, man. Yo, smash the like, by the way, lads. Be much appreciated. Smash the like. If Josh Taylor, Josh Taylor goes up to welterweight, I would like to see him fight someone like a Danny Garcia. Yeah, good shout. You know, someone like a Danny Garcia would be a very good test at welterweight for Josh Taylor. Even someone like Josecito Lopez would be a good first fight at welterweight. Terry, who else they got? Terry O'Connor and Adelaide Bird scoring. Oh, God help us all, Pigeon. God help us all if that's the case. Big up Blue. Who you got tonight? Are you paying the $1.99 for the zone? Yeah, I'm paying $1.99 for this fight. Yeah, I've subscribed to the zone. With that sort of price, I can't really argue. To be honest, I can't really argue. I subscribed to the Zone for the night before the Golovkin fight, and yeah, I watched the Golovkin fight live. I watched the Canelo fight on replay, and my initial impressions of the Zone so far have been pretty good. To be honest, it's easy to use. It looks slick. It's presented really nicely. The picture quality is great. It doesn't lag. The only problem I have with the Zone is the commentary teams. That's the only problem I've got with the Zone. So, some of the commentary is horrific, but apart from that, really impressed. Really impressed. Carlos Mendoza, Garcia wins 118 to 110. Yeah, you could see those sort of scorecards. You really wouldn't be surprised in this sort of occasion, would you? Okay, this is to Apology Man, but to the chat as well. The 3 judges assigned to the bout are Mark Lyson from Liverpool, Ray Dansenko from California, and Glenn Feldman of Connecticut. Okay. Interesting. There's one UK judge. Have a little swig of Corona. Beautiful. One second, lads. MMA champs got Ryan Garcia by late KO. Big up to Intangible Boxing News, by the way. Big up to Sven Otke's biggest fan, Intangible Boxing News. Harvey Hughes, Taylor versus Prograis is the most technical war I've ever seen. Yeah, great fight. Both guys shown a great skill set, heart, guts, determination. There was violence in that fight. That was one of those perfect fights to me. One of those perfect fights. Brilliant fight. And like you said, technically as well, they showed a lot in that one. To me, though, the best technical fight of all time, my favourite best technical fight was James Toney versus Mike McCallum 1. That was a brilliant fight. The body snatcher versus lights out Toney. Great fight, man. The first fight, though. Really good stuff, man. Lopez versus Garcia. Yeah, that'd be a great fight. Come on, Nazars. Look at Nazars in here giving me some grief. Jesus. I got Ioka versus Tanaka right. Ioka was the underdog, so I'm living off that for a couple of months. So go and do one. Phil says, Tio can do some damage at 140. I'm not sold on Josh Taylor and Prograis, but I can see why people say Tio might struggle at 140. Yeah. Who knows, though? Maybe it could be the other way around where Tio's just more fresh at 140. You know, he's stronger, not cutting as much weight. It could happen. It could happen. We've seen guys move up in weight and they've benefited from it. So maybe Tio could be one of those guys. Neither Peter, John, or Huey has a son called Davey. Okay. Is the boxing on tonight? Yeah, bro, it's on tonight. If you're UK-based, AZ, if you're UK-based, it is 11 p.m. UK time, main event. The card starts at 8 p.m. Davey Fury sounds like a taxi driver. He sounds like something off Snatch, doesn't he? Davey Fury. Yeah, they're allowing some fans in Bad Nesha. I think it's 25% capacity, maybe. Yes, big up to Johnny Boy in the chat as well. I just see Johnny Boy in the chat. Big up to Johnny Boy. Hopefully you're keeping well, Johnny, man. And hopefully you're looking forward to the fight tonight. Should be a good one. Jay says, as Tank increased his level of competition, he has started to get hit a lot more. Do you think we'll see the same thing with Shakur Stevenson? The eye test tells me Shakur has just better defense than Tank Davis. He's taller, he's longer. I think he's got a better judgment of range. I don't think you're going to see Shakur get hit at this sort of level he's at now, sorry. And even He just got better attributes defensively than Tank Davis. Tank Davis is very flat-footed, you know. He's kind of got that Adrien Broner footwork where he drags his back leg, you know, kind of shells up at times, doesn't really move his head all that much. Tank Davis definitely is hittable for me. He's definitely hittable, where I think Shakur is naturally a more talented defensive fighter. He's been through the amateurs, fought in the Olympics. I just think Shakur is more well-schooled. I think he's always going to be a hard night for anybody, no matter who he fights. Personally, I'm not as impressed with Tank Davis as I am with Shakur Stevenson from a boxing standpoint. And exactly, Johnny, smack the like, 100%, bruv, 100%. Intangible boxing news. To be fair, even though Lawrence Cole is the referee, I see this being a pretty clean fight. Yeah, stylistically, when you look at both guys, you would say it's going to be relatively clean. Like, neither guy's really a swarmer or a pressure fighter. Both guys like to box within their distance. Neither guy's particularly comfortable up close. Yeah, I'd imagine they're going to be standing off each other a lot, feinting, looking for the openings. I think it's going to be quite technical early on, to be honest. Both of these guys are not going to give too much away. Hopefully it heats up as the fight goes on. Could be one of those slow burner type fights. We're getting far behind, I think. Jesus. Yeah, big up to Pigeon every single time. Pigeon's a joker, man. I like Pigeon. I like a bit of Pigeon on live streams, man. AA Boxing and Blunts. Terry O'Connor will be tweeting pics of a fight from his invisible phone. Oh, dear. Oh, is he good? Ray Danseco's good. Okay. I've not really heard of him, to be honest. Maybe I have. I'm not one of those people. I don't really pay too much attention to the judges. I know the mainstream guys, but I don't really pay too much attention. Don't really pay too much attention, to be honest. Shit, wrong fucking tab. Jesus. Mark Lyson is not good. I'll have to go back and look at some of his scorecards. But if he's British, he's probably not good, because our officials right now are poor, both referees and judges. So yeah, you're probably right, mate. You're probably right, Pigeon. I know Mark Lyson though. Actually, I remember the name. Yeah, I know Mark Lyson. You're probably right though. He probably sucks. Probably absolute shit. Yeah, exactly, bro, Jamie. Yeah, exactly. The show production and commentary team for DAZN are shocking. Yeah, I particularly agree with the commentary team. I don't mind the production. I like how the ring looks and whatnot. I like all that sort of stuff. But the commentary teams are awful. They really are awful. Big up to B Space. Big up to Jim McDonald Boxing as well. Indeed, yeah. Luke gold medalist at bantamweight, London 2012. Yep. I've got Josh Taylor personally. I think Josh Taylor's just got more layers to his game than Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is a good pressure fighter. He can fight on the inside, but he doesn't really have any nuances to his game like Josh Taylor. I've seen Josh Taylor box. I've seen Josh Taylor fight on the inside, you know, adjust on the fly. I just believe Josh Taylor's a far more versatile fighter than Jose Ramirez. If Josh Taylor starts that fight in a particular way and Ramirez isn't having success, I can't really see Ramirez adjusting. However, if Ramirez starts that fight well and he has success, I can see Taylor adjusting. You know, I just think Taylor's of a higher level when you compare those two. But stylistically, that should be a good fight. No, big up to AZ. Back at work here. I'm back at work on Monday. I worked some of last week, though, to be fair. I did work some of last week. I think 3 days, maybe. Every travelling man has a son called Davey who loves a tank top, so they too. Yeah, loves the wife beater, doesn't he? Big up to Andre. The fight is starting at 11 p.m. UK time. the main event, 11 p.m. UK time. The actual main card starts on the zone at 8 p.m. That'll be a good fight, MMA champ. I'm not a big MMA fan, but that's a good fight. Looking forward to that one. Big up to Official, by the way. Big up to Official Scorecard Boxing Science. Knows his stuff, man. One of the more knowledgeable guys I've heard on YouTube. I've been following the YouTube boxing community for years now, and Official, especially from a technical sense, like breaking down fights, one of the most knowledgeable people I've heard online. So big up to Official every single time. Big up to Official. Ian Ward, Del, when you see Davey Fury and listen to him speak, I bet you say he's either Big John or Peter's son. Davey is also a traveller from Manchester. Maybe they're long lost relations. Maybe John had a bit on the side at one point, or Peter maybe. Exactly, Official. Hit the like, smack the like. I agree, B-Space. I agree. Oh, Blair Cobbs, Phil. I'm not a fan of Blair Cobbs at all. I'm not a fan of him at all. Don't rate him at all. He'll get knocked out as soon as he steps up. He'll get beat as soon as he steps up. I'm talking about like Josecito Lopez would knock out Blair Cobbs. I can't fucking say his name. That's a tongue twister for me for some reason. Bilkis Reyna, I can't say the name, bro. Sorry, Rehana. He says Ryan would get obliterated by Amir Khan if Luke doesn't beat him. Ryan don't want that smike. Smike? I can't fucking speak. Ryan don't want that smoke from Khan. Mate, the Amir Khan's days are long gone. Long gone. Amir Khan's not a factor anymore. Hasn't been for a long time. You too, B-Space. You too, mate. Happy New Year. Now, I think we've got the real Jim in here. I think there was two Jim McDonald's at one point, and I think we've got the real one. So big up to Jim every single time. Tank Davis is educationally subnormal. That's why he's considered special. Yeah, he's not the quickest guy in the world, is he, Tank Davis? He's not the quickest witted guy in the world. Mate, they're not as bad as Sky, MMA champ, but I still think they're pretty bad, personally. I still think they're pretty bad. Like Sergio Mora, for example, I just don't rate at all. I don't rate Sergio Mora at all, and Chris Mannix is terrible. Exactly, Phil. Yeah, the world right now is so volatile, and crypto's just going through the roof. Going through the roof. I made a bit of money on crypto without any knowledge at all. So if some idiot like me can make money on crypto, that means there's a lot of money to be made in general. You know, so I'm like I said, I'm really researching that shit thoroughly right now. No, mate, no. Didn't get shut down. Really good night. I think I went to bed about 6 p.m. I woke up about. Sorry, I went to bed at 6 a.m. on New Year's Day. I woke up at what, fucking 8 a.m. I had like 2 hours sleep on New Year's Day, but it was a real lively party, mate. Really good fun. Really good fun. Some interesting stories to tell, but it's probably not for this channel, to be honest with you. But it was a good laugh, mate. Good laugh. Yeah, Phil, I've got mine sorted already. We've got the Corona in honor of Ryan Garcia, Corona Extra. Why not? Tell you what, I might fuck with everybody. If Ryan Garcia wins this fight, we might become a Ryan Garcia fan channel just to fuck with people. I'm joking. That's not going to happen. But it's beautiful. No worries, Official, man. Big up to Official. No worries at all, mate. And also, I plan on doing like a New Year sort of YTBC recommendation video where I recommend loads of channels So your podcast is going to be on there, bro. So rest assured. I'll try and point people your way. I've never seen him fight, Mad Chad. I've never seen him fight, but I saw his interview during the weigh-in. I've never seen Sugar Sean fight, so who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I like his videos, MMA champ. I like his videos. Yeah, we're downing the corona extremely quickly right now, building up our immune system. You know, that's what we're doing right now. Now I'm getting far behind. Big up to Black Hatred. Impregnate the like button. I like it. I like it. Yep. No, this is just like a pre-fight talk video, Marcelino. But the fight starts at what 11 p.m. UK time. So the fight starts in what, like fucking about 4 hours. Yeah, Blair Cobbs is just an entertaining fighter, nothing special, anyways. Yeah, exactly, bro. He's a character, but I don't think there's much there. Who's got faster hands, Prime Khan or Ryan Garcia? I'd say Prime Khan. Prime Khan, man, at one point was rapid. I would say Amir Khan. Amir Khan puts in his prime. Sorry, he put more shots together than Ryan Garcia. But Ryan Garcia is exceptionally quick off the counter kind of thing. He's extremely quick off the counter, but in terms of like combination punching, I've got Amir Khan. Jenny's World. Ryan Garcia is about to knock out Luke Campbell. Sorry, Ryan Garcia is about to knock Luke Campbell out cold. Could do. He could do. I'll be surprised if it's like fucking out cold. Big up to UC Productions, by the way. Man of vast knowledge. He's the one actually who kind of not persuaded me, because he never did it directly, but he's the one who inspired me to actually get into crypto and really give it a proper look. And like I said, I fluked it and I made a little bit of money immediately. So yeah, right now I'm just really researching hard, and you know, we'll get into it. But he says, we just broke 33k, lads, tripled my entire net worth in 2 weeks so far based on future leverage trading and my long-term hold portfolio. Try telling everybody over and over. Yeah, you did UC. I know. Like for a long time as well, because I obviously watch your streams and whatnot, and I catch as much of your content as possible. And yeah, you're right, man. You've been telling people for a long time, bro. So big up to UC, man. Because listen, you persuaded me to try and get involved in it. So you know, you could have made a lot of people some money, mate. So big up to UC. I was just real scared to get involved in it. You know, real kind of I guess doubtful, but yeah. But yes, 33k per coin right now. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. By the way, UC, if you are still here, what do you make of that other crypto? That is it called Ethereum, whatever it's called? What do you make of that? If you could let me know. Adonis Exladani, he says, when does the main event start, mate? Starts at 11. Well, the main event is 11 p.m. UK time. So what? Just under 4 hours time. Just under 4 hours time. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that is very true. Very condescending kind of thing, and you know what I mean, patronizing. Yeah, that's how it comes across. Yeah, you're right. I never really thought of it, but now you said it. Big Dan, I can't believe Barry Hearn has been given an OBE. It's shocking. Yeah, exactly. You know, the Black Book, but you know, the royal family had ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Maybe that's why, man. Maybe that's why. Del, do you think Broner can make a comeback and be in good competitive fights? He still seems to be a popular cash cow. Yeah, listen, with Adrien Broner, this is what I say with Adrien Broner. To me, he's never going to be the guy that, like, the PBC, Al Heyman, but he's never going to be the guy they thought he was. However, I think Broner can be a fun, TV-friendly fighter. If you watch his fights with, Granados, Emmanuel Taylor, Jesse Vargas, sort of B to C level guys, if you put Broner in there with those sort of guys, you can get some really fun fights. But the key for Broner right now really is matchmaking. He needs the right fights to be in fun fights. For example, Josecito Lopez, that will be a great fight for Broner right now. It'd be a fun fight. But he's never going to be like the guy. He's never going to be a world champion again unless he gets his hands on like a vacant title. Big up to Will Stokes. Love the channel, mate, but it's not the best advising people to go and oppose the lockdown restrictions. People are losing their families, and advising people to go out and see others is not going to help, mate. Listen, bruv, I would advise anybody to just do their own thing. Personally, do your own thing, and don't let. All I'm saying is the cure is far worse than the disease. The death statistics in general are not reliable. I mean, it even says to you on BBC News, all of the deaths recorded. So if you test positive for corona and you die within the 28-day period of that test, you're going to go down as a COVID death regardless. You could get hit by a car. It's still a COVID death. The death toll is not accurate. It's in the UK, there's been 600 people who have died under 60 years old. Like, to me, it's not a threat at all. I'm not going to waste my life for something that is trivial, personally, and I would advise everybody else to do the same. I'm not going to not see my friends and create memories for something that's not all that serious. That's how I feel about it. Ultimately, it's down to the individual, but I'm not having anybody tell me how I should live my life personally. I would encourage people just to do their own thing. That's what I would do. That's what I say personally. That's what I say anyway. But again, just my opinion. I just don't believe what we're being told. I don't believe that there is something more sinister behind this than merely, trying to look out for the public. When have the government ever tried to do that? Like the war on terror, looking out for the public. Oh, it's a big threat to the Western society. No, it wasn't. Never was. But, people bought into that. 1 million people died in Iraq. God knows how many people died in Libya, Syria, all for this war on terror. Afghanistan, like, millions of lives lost, trillions of dollars spent for nothing. You know what I mean? I don't believe the hype, personally. I really don't. Milky Bars are on UCTV. Yeah, exactly, bro. The Milky Bars are on UCTV. Indeed, yes, sir. I totally agree. And that's a good point, Faust. That's a very good point. Depression, suicides are up. Poverty is up. People have lost their jobs, lost their livelihood. Poverty in turn creates bad health and creates death. Domestic violence is up. Cancer screenings and heart operations. All of these things are getting delayed, and people are losing their lives because of that. But nobody talks about that. Do you know what I mean? It's just how I see it, though. Just how I see it. Yeah, it's a good question, Jim McDonald. It's a very good question. You online? Yeah, you streaming tonight? You see. But I'm intrigued to hear UC's thoughts on Ethereum. Yeah. Big up to Jason Bourne. Listen, Jason, I've not seen you for a while, man. Big up to Jason. I think we've got a load of new people here, so like me talking about COVID probably isn't the best bet. Big up to Sarfraz Mahmood. He says, Del, honest prediction for Garcia Campbell. Safe bet, Garcia on points, but Garcia by any means necessary. I've got Garcia, mate. I've got Garcia. Not tonight, bruv. I do plan on. I do plan on inviting people in the future. I've been going solo for a long, long time now. I do plan on kind of opening it back up in the future, but tonight this is just like an impromptu live stream. So maybe in the future, bruv. Maybe in the future. And that's what I wanted to hear. This is what I wanted to hear. I'm an Ethereum fanboy, Del. As much as I'm loving the constant pumps, part of me is gladly anticipating correction. One of this bull market, sorry, will stack more than. Okay, cool, brilliant. I was looking at it, and I've talked to a few people, and yeah, thought I'd ask. It's good. It's good info, though, man. Again, I'm really looking into it, man. I agree. Jason. I agree. Big up to Phil, man. I had COVID-19. I'm immune now. It didn't do a thing to me. Doctor said my nerdy self had a huge T cell count. I can't get COVID again. Cough on me. Go on, Ben. Big up to fucking Pigeon, man. Big up to Pigeon. Matthew D'Souza, hospital admissions are normal for this time of year. There is not excessive hospital ICUs. Yep. Ethereum and Litecoin too, but that's the only because they're way cheaper. Yeah. Like the last time I checked, I think Ethereum went up to like 700 quid per coin or something like that. Okay, so yeah, absolutely not. Coinbase fees outright scummery, reliable / safe long-term hold wallet. Any other use it's poor. I might have to get in touch with you, UC mate. I can't lie. Can't lie. Yes, big up to Joe DC. Yeah, looking forward to it, bro. Looking forward to it. They probably will, bruv. They probably will. I'm not even saying, listen, it's just my opinion. I'm just going to try and just keep living my life, have fun, spend it with the people I really care about, create memories. Ultimately, that's what life's about. As far as I'm concerned, is creating great memories, being happy as much as possible, being content as much as possible, and living life how they want us to live it. That's not achievable, as far as I'm concerned. It's not achievable. So I'm going to do my thing. And go from there, basically. If I get caught, I get caught, whatever. I'll just pay a fine, whatever. Yeah, since COVID came around, not a single terror attack in the UK or even a mention of it, shaking my head, yeah. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's absolutely ridiculous, Anonymous. What is my New Year's resolution? See, I never really do this sort of thing, the whole New Year's, New Me thing. I never really do it. But I don't know. I don't really have one. From like a side, like one of them, I guess, is actually try and create more like sources of secondary income. That's one of them. I know that's really kind of like materialistic and whatnot, but the way the world is right now, I think it's valuable. But apart from that, I mean, nothing really. I don't really have one. Yeah, exactly, Phil. Yeah. Yes, big up to Levi Khan, straight out of NYC. Big up to Levi. From Eastern Standard Time. What's up? Shout out to the OG Del Boy on the ones and twos. Big up to Levi, man. Nice to see you here, bro. 11 p.m. UK time. HR. Oh, mate, I've not looked at the odds, bruv. I've not looked at them, to be honest, mate. Luke Campbell on paper are great odds. You know, Luke Campbell's got some great odds going into this fight, but you have to consider where this fight is. Texas, Lawrence Cole as referee, Ryan Garcia is the Golden Boy fighter on a Golden Boy card. He's their big hope. So I wouldn't touch this fight personally. I wouldn't touch it. Suicide has skyrocketed to world war levels. Yeah. It is a war, though, isn't it? It's a war on freedom, personal responsibility. That's how I see it personally. I've got a lot of things to say about it, but I try and keep it away from this channel. I always kind of come back to it on live streams, but it just frustrates me a lot. It really does. Okay. Big up to MB. One second, lads. I'm going to get another beer. Okay, we're back. We are back. Yeah, the two Nicaraguan brothers, the Alvarados, are both criminally underpaid. Their chief support, because in Nicaragua, that money goes a long damn way. Yeah, both good fighters. Rene Alvarado and Felix Alvarado. Rene Alvarado's in a real good fight, by the way, against Roger Gutierrez. That's a good fight. It's a real good fight. Would you fight my girlfriend for 20 quid? I'm about to say something, though, but no, I wouldn't. Garcia by late corner round stoppage. Garcia by late round conspiracy stoppage. Oh, you think it's going to be premature? Yeah, they should both win tonight. Yeah, I agree. Yep. Go for it, UC. Do it, mate. I'll be watching. I'll be listening and watching at the same time. Yeah, mate. Steady on, mate. It's 26 minutes past 7, bruv. Steady on. So yeah, in England, the fight starts at 11 p.m. Ah, look at J-Dev again. Again, every single stream, yeah, this guy tries to insinuate I like fat girls. Look at this guy, man. Del's a lockdown skeptic, though. He doesn't mind the gyms being shut. Stops them fat lasses from cutting the weight. Jesus Christ. Oh, dear. You got me, mate. You got me. You worked me out. That's the whole motive behind my rhetoric in regards to COVID. Where did that even come from, by the way, that I like fat girls? Where did that come from? Just a complete and utter myth. Complete myth. You got COVID off a fat gingerbread, Del. Oh dear. There's another fat joke down there, man. I'm not a chubby chaser. I'm not a chubby chaser. It's Jenny's world. He can't wait to see Ryan Garcia knocking out Campbell in slow motion. Listen, if he does, I hope it is a brutal knockout. I hope it is. I like those sort of knockouts, man. Bro, to get luck off. Exactly, bro. No, I don't cover UFC, bro. I don't touch. I don't. Well, not really. Anyway, not usually. Occasionally, I'll make a UFC video, but not often. Life is about seedy women of the night. Some exercise, lots of booze, and watching repeats of Amir Khan being knocked out. Fuck's sake. Seedy women, I agree with. Some exercise, yeah, agreed. Lots of booze, agreed. Watching repeats of Amir Khan being knocked out, I can't complain. Can't complain, bro. He's boxing soon, Levi Khan, on some like real small card in the US. He's boxing quite soon. He's got a fight scheduled. Mate, I could use a spliff right now, genuinely. I really could. Yeah, Campbell, there are some good odds on Luke Campbell. And I agree, Phil. I totally agree. Luke Campbell needs to be, like I said, just be a bit more assertive in this fight. Really commit to that jab. Try to be the boxer puncher. Try and catch Ryan early and often. We don't know what Ryan's chin is like. We don't know what his heart is like, what his gas tank is like. He needs to put it on Ryan. Big up to Anthony Mackin. Yeah, exactly. If you have the money to throw away, put a tenner on the draw. Yeah, put it. Yeah, do something outside the box. But I wouldn't bet on that fight personally. It's a war on existence. That's what it feels like, Pigeon. That's what it feels like. Yeah. But listen, man. All I'm saying is, so I'll summarize it by this: if you want to live like, if you want to be extra cautious, and wear the mask and God knows what else, I wouldn't shame anybody for doing that, because ultimately that's your personal choice. But me personally, if I don't want to wear a mask, if I want to see my friends, I'll do as I please. Do you know what I mean? That's how I feel. It's down to personal, I guess, responsibility but who the fuck's Kyle Rittenhouse? Never heard of him, whoever it is. Garcia has no experience fighting along southpaw like Campbell. Yeah, that's true. But one thing about that, though, like, Luke Campbell's never really fought any guys his own size, has he? Like, Mendy was a lot smaller. Lomachenko a lot shorter. Linares was quite big, but Luke Campbell's not really fought many big lightweights either, to be honest. Like, neither guy's really fought those sort of big lightweights. So, yeah, I agree, Pigeon. I agree. Levi Khan, Patera versus James Tennyson. Who wins at Euro level? Patera is a real good tidy boxer at European level. He exposed Lewis Ritson, and he's a good body puncher as well. He hurt Lewis Ritson to the body. We've seen James Tennyson get hurt to the body. So I might favour. Do you know what? I might favour Francisco Patera in that fight. Lee Selby versus Ricky Burns, last chance saloon fight 2021. Nah, I don't want to see that fight again. I don't want to see it again, man. What's wrong with fat birds? They're not my cup of tea, bro. I like thick girls, but like, yeah, not fat girls. I'm not a fan of fat girls. Thick is fine, fat is not fine. But again, you know, the lines have been blurred, but because we've got like morbidly obese whales claiming that they're thick when they're fat, and they've completely messed it up for us like thick connoisseurs. And now we get labelled unfairly as chubby chasers, which is a downright fucking disgrace. People like Jay Dav are pushing the narrative that I like fat girls. It's an absolute disgrace. At least you like girls. That's exactly, bro. You never know in this world these days, do you? You never know. Ioka versus John Real Casemiro. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Very good fight. Ioka versus Ancajas. Ioka versus Gonzalez Estrada winner. All great fights, man. Great fights. Even, listen, Ioka versus Rungvisai. There's some fucking great fights to be made at 115. 115 right now, I tell you what, one of the best divisions in boxing in terms of pure quality. Some great fighters down there. Great fighters. And I'll tell you what, in terms of those little guys, Ioka's getting a lot of credit right now, and rightly so. But the next guy coming out of Japan, Junto Nakatani, flyweight champion, big puncher, very, very, very good fighter in my opinion. Junto Nakatani. Fat girls are greedy fridge dwellers. I like that. I like that phrase, fridge dweller. I like it. I might use that myself. I think Recognize started that rumor because he beat his ass on BDA Trivia, Del Boy. Big up to Recognize, man, every single time. That was a long time ago now. I agree, Simon. Totally agree. Totally agree. I've got Ryan Garcia as well. You've not lived if you've not clapped the cheeks of a fat bird once or twice. Oh Christ. Yeah, he is. He is a class act, Maxi Hughes. He is. It's a good fight. It's a decent fight. I want to see Nakatani fight Moss's chops. I want to see Nakatani. Who should Nakatani fight? I'll tell you what. Jorge Linares versus Nakatani would be a great fight. Be a great fight. But yeah, that's for lightweight Nakatani. The real Nakatani, in my opinion, is Junto Nakatani at flyweight. Very good fighter. I think he knocked out Milan Melindo already. I think he's a WBO champion at flyweight. Very good fighter. Very good fighter. Edis Tatley back against Emmanuel Tagawe next on ESPN. Is that official, Levi Khan? Because that's a decent fight. Fat girls waste resources, petrol, food, cinema, food costs, clothing costs. Exactly. Listen, bruv. If you're giving her a ride, she's going to cost more petrol because of her weight. If you buy her food, she's going to want more food because she's a glutton, right? So you're right. You are totally right. I'm just going with a house fighter, you see. I'm going with a house fighter. It's in Texas, man. Luke's got to pull something. He's got to do something really special. Like I said, man, to me, he's just far too passive. He's far too passive. I don't see him doing it. He needs to knock out Ryan Garcia. He can't win 8 rounds to 4. He will lose this fight in Texas. He needs to knock him out, in my opinion. But I just don't see it happening. I really don't. I really don't. I hope there's no chubby chasers in the chat, by the way, because exactly. The YTBC deep state in fear of Dell's wrath is running a psyop trying to ruin his reputation by making him to be a chubby chaser. Yeah, I'm the same, Big Dan, as well. I'm the same. Not interested, bro. Not interested whatsoever. Not interested whatsoever. Was this in America by any chance? Because I don't know anything about it. If it's America, I've got no fucking clue. No fucking clue. Will Garth Crooks fight Povetkin next? You're a pimp, real talk. If I was a pimp, I'd be a lot more richer, mate. I'd be a lot more richer. They'll keep you warm at night. That's one benefit of a fat girl. Fuck's sake. AZ, he prefers a good anorexic girl. Jesus. Eva Mendoza, she likes Ryan Garcia. Big up to Eva. Yeah, they could like choke you out with their thighs, bro. They are dangerous, but it's worth a go. It's worth a go. I'll tell you what, horse riders are pretty fucking dangerous. They're fucking top notch horse riders. If you can get a girl who rides a horse, and I don't mean me, but like a real horse, like they are proper top notch. Do you know what I mean? Like top notch. Starting to talk shit now, innit? I'm starting to talk shit. Adriana Jimenez from Fino Boxing, thick chick or fat? She's thick. Now, she's thick, Anthony. To me, that's thick. She's not fat. She's not fat. I'll tell you who is fat. Who's that model? That plus-size model. What's her name? I forgot her fucking name. I forgot her name. I can't think of an example, but I wouldn't say she's fat at all. Yeah, I agree, official. I think he's very good. Very good. He'll be the next guy out of Japan. Very good fighter. UC Productions, my best mate, took one for the team when I got on my missus for the first time. He was on her, mate. I heard him literally scream from across the house, open the door, smell hit me instantly, Phil, for fuck's sake. Mate, there's always one time, yeah, when you're out with a group of mates and you get together with like a group of girls, and there's always one fat girl in there. There's always one fat girl someone needs to take care of. Ah, fuck me. It's horrible. I have been lumbered in that situation before, and I remember sitting next to her, yeah, in the club, and like she just kept on touching me and shit. She wouldn't leave me alone, and I felt so uncomfortable. I got fucking Me Too'd that night. Like one of the worst fucking nights out of all time. Horrible. I agree. I agree, Anthony. Yeah, totally agree. Could be a cash out. Okay, card starts in 20 minutes. Now BG London's getting in on the act. Dell likes some hippo shaped. Laugh out loud. Fuck's sake. Apology. Fino is borderline. 2 burgers away from Fatland. Oh shit. Oh my days. Do you know what, lads? I'm going to wrap this one up. The card starts in 20 minutes time. I've got a couple of fish cakes in the oven, believe it or not. And yeah, man. Thank you guys for showing out as usual. Much appreciated. Really enjoyed it tonight. Peace. You're right, but yeah, you're right, Lou123. Totally agree. But yeah, peace, guys.